collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX VramBreaker from Kamen Rider Gavv. So I've been told that it is supposed to be Vram and not Vlam, so that's what I'm going with. So we have the VramBreaker here. It has a bow and chainsaw mode. Sure, I guess we're going with that. It comes with the Pudu Jelly Gochizo, so it's like a combo of pudding and jelly, so sounds delicious. And then you can see it gives Vram his jelly form, which is featured very prominently here on the right side of the box. And this is the base pudding form over here in the back with the goatee. Up top here it shows Pudu Jelly, so that is the pudding jelly cup that is going to work in the Henshin Belt Gavv, but also in the, let me see if I can get this correct, the Vrastum gear. Hopefully I said that correct. Still learning on this one. Down here on the bottom, just your usual warnings and whatnot. Looks like this comes with two LR44 batteries, so shouldn't have to provide our own batteries, which is always appreciated. Just have a picture of Vram here in the jelly form with the two items that are included. And then over here on this side, it literally just lists out the two items that are included in the box. Spin it around the back. Looks like you can pull this back for a sound, hit the trigger for a sound, load the cup in. Says set, and then Vram shooting, and then when it's in the chainsaw mode it says Vram slash, I think. Slash, yeah, slash. So there we go. You can also use it in the Vrastrum gear, which we'll take a look at, and we can also use the other pudding cup in this as well. We'll try all that out. I'm going to go ahead, get this stuff out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's everything you get in the box. We have the Pudu Jelly, which is our new pudding cup. You can see it says Pudu Jelly on top, and you can see that it is a mixture of pudding and jelly. Cherry flavored, apparently. So once again, you have cool little eyes here, and then you have that wave to kind of give it like a mouth, which is kind of neat. Little buttons down there. Pretty much all there is to do. If you wanted, you could push this, and that would allow this to drain in. And then you would just pull it out and let this kind of reset, and it should click into place. And there you go. So we'll come back to him in a moment. Let's take a look at the VramBreaker. And if you thought the Vrastum gear, or Vrastum gear, I keep saying it wrong. In any case, if you thought that did not very much, this does even less. So it is a bow slash chainsaw. Sure. You change it just by pushing this down and flipping this out. And then you press it down again and swing it up. The weapon has no idea what orientation this is in. This does nothing. This does not trigger new sounds. You can get the sounds out of this thing without ever touching this. This is just ornamental. Otherwise, I like the color scheme. Again, you know, it's the orange and yellow and blue. Kind of looks like a bat if I hold it up like this. Like if these are the ears and these are the eyes. Kind of looks like a little bat, which is kind of neat. So you have this section here. If you pull this down, you can see on the inside there, kind of looks like there's jelly or pudding in there. So here is the speaker. Here is the compartment where you pull a little tab. The batteries are inside. If you would ever need to change them, you depress the little pin in there, slide that out, change them. There is no on and off switch, so when I first pulled out the pin, it did say VramBreaker. I can't get it to say that again, because unless I take the batteries out. I tried to look for a reset button, and I don't see one. So it's possible there's one and I'm missing it, but I don't see one. And I'm hitting the trigger by accident. So basically how this works, if you pull this back, you get like the bow sound. And then if you hit this, it alternates between those two chainsaw-like sounds. Again, doesn't matter what orientation this is in. It can be down, it can be up. You can still get the bow sounds. If you hold it down, that doesn't do anything. Actually, maybe it's 3 different chainsaw sounds. Okay, 3 different chainsaw sounds. I think I pointed out the speaker was back here already. Yeah, so that's, I don't know, that's pretty much it. You get the chainsaw sounds with the trigger. You get the bow sounds by pulling that back. That's all it does on its own. Now we can go ahead and load the pudding cup in. Again, no reader of any kind. It's literally just depressing this button. You could do it with your finger. It doesn't matter, but you load this in. It says set, and then it starts the standby music. If you hit the trigger, it just interrupts it. If you pull this back, so I accidentally hit the trigger there, so we'll try this again. So it says Vram shooting. It's kind of quiet though, honestly, like with the standby music and everything else going on, it's a little hard to hear it. But yeah, it says Vram shooting. Now, you might think, okay, well that's, you know, if I pull this back while this is attached, that's how I get the shooting sound. How do I get the special attack for the chainsaw? It's not by pressing the trigger. Well, not at first. You have to pull this back 3 times quickly. And then it says Vram slashing. So yeah, it's weird that you would pull this back 3 times and then hit the trigger. Why wouldn't you like hold the trigger down or hit the trigger 3 times? Something like that. But yeah. So, and the other thing is if you do this and then you pull this back again, it just keeps going. So, yeah, a little underwhelming. And then when you want to remove the pudding cup, you just press this, like, kind of translucent red button right here. And that will release it. If you wanted to use the other one, so the sounds are the same because, like I said, it's not a reader. It's literally just depressing a button. So you could even just reach in here with your finger. So yeah, nothing special. Like I said, a little underwhelming. I thought the bow slash chainsaw motif was already a little weird, but it's kind of a bummer that like it doesn't change. Like doing this should make it change. Like it should say a different name, you know, like chainsaw or bow or something when you switch back and forth. But no, it has no idea what orientation this is in. It does not affect anything. It is not connected to anything. And also, this is not a chainsaw. It's just not. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the funnest thing to me is that when I hold it like this, it kind of looks like a bat. Other than that, it's a little boring. But of course, we can transform with the pudding cup in the Vrostum gear. If you take a look at the pudding cup top as opposed to the other one, you can see that the opposite button will be depressed. This was the left side. This is the right side. So that's how it knows to do a different sound. So let's go ahead and pop it in here. Cool standby music. So you can see it's lighting up pink now, and I do love the way that thing jiggles. I think it's so simple, but it's so fun. It's just a little spring, but I love it. So you can see again, it's pink. It said Jelly System, or I think Jelly Vram System, something like that. So we can do the attack. So that was kind of a fun sound effect. Very interesting there. And then again, if you want to take this, just pop this back, and it just pops out of there. So, you know, again, it's neat. I can just put this back so it clicks. There we go. It's neat that you get a second form. I appreciate that. Like I said, just the pin system's on the other side now, so it's depressing a different pin. So technically, you probably don't need this at all. You could just use something to press those buttons down and get the sounds that way. But it does look pretty cool, and it's nice that he gets a second form. Next up, we'll try it in the Henshin Belt Gavv. And then we'll try it here in the Gabuga Blade. Not going to bother with the Valen Buster since we already know it will not fit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I definitely can't recommend this one. I mean, for a collector, this is going to get boring so quickly. I love the pudding jelly cup. I'm hoping that they just put these in, you know, a Candy Toy or Gashapon set somewhere down the road so people who want this can get this without having to buy this. I think that the Vram, I keep saying this wrong, Vrostom gear, I'll get there eventually. The Vrostom gear has some fun and charm to it. Plus, you can use the different pudding cups and get different forms. I can recommend that one. This one is really boring. I mean, you'd be buying it really only for the pudding cup. Because at the end of the day, you have one sound for the bow, one sound for the chainsaw. Then you put the pudding cup in, and then you have one additional sound for each. And that's it. This thing is dumb. Calling this a chainsaw is quite a stretch, and the fact that the toy does not recognize when this moves at all, I think is lame. I feel like if you're changing forms, it should recognize it. You know, when you open up the like pieces of the Valen Buster, it makes a noise. It realizes you're opening it. It's doing something. That's how it should be. This thing, you could just take it or leave it. You could literally never change it at all, and you'd still get all the right sounds out of it. I mean, all four that there are to get out of it. So I also wish there was an on and off switch. I don't like when things that have the watch batteries don't have on and off switches, and this one does not, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, honestly, this thing is really kind of boring. I think the pudding cup is great. Hopefully there'll be a way to get it later on without this. At the very least, I would wait for a sale. If you got to have the DX version of the pudding cup, I would definitely wait for a sale, because this thing, you'll maybe play with it for 5 minutes and then probably put it somewhere and never look at it again. It's just not that fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.